Hey Leo, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Now just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional holistic and spiritual counsellor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling and mentoring, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. Just check the details in the description box below this video for more information. Right, so let's dive in there and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far, and more importantly, about your person. Right, guys? Okay, so let's go. Okay, Leo. So you were coming in with the High Priestess, and you were also coming in with the Death and Transformation card, here, Leo. So what that's kind of talking about here in your reading, this is coming in as yourself here, is that you're going through some major changes here, but these changes here in your reading is about learning to trust here in yourself and the universe, that this is the correct path in a sense here. See, this is coming in as no longer avoiding or ignoring here certain signals. That's what I'm getting. There's I want to say a stronger sense of belief here, because this is actually coming in as yourself here in your reading. See, you may have doubted it in the past. You may have doubted yourself, to be quite honest, when you're coming in with the High Priestess. See, that in itself talks about your spiritual journey here. Yeah, it's like you've started the ignition here. Yeah, of course, that ignition could also be talking about here in terms of that spiritual journey is a higher level of learning here and thinking here, guys. Thinking outside of a outdated belief system or program here. No longer holding on to the past way of doing things. Yeah, no longer in fear is what it's saying. But no longer in fear to be the person you truly are or truly want to be here, Leo. That's what it's talking about here, yeah, because it talks about regeneration or reinvention here, and the strength. That's what I'm getting with this transformation card. Yeah, of course, it can lead into confidence here, all right, guys, and self-esteem, but it comes in as the courage here, yeah, the courage to rebirth here, restart here in your reading, and even reinvent yourself over again here. It involves innovation here. The changes, that's what innovation is talking about, but it also talks about here how to create those changes, because no longer just leaving things as an idea. Now it's about actually taking the action here. Yeah. Because those cards are coming in as you here. Yeah. You're challenging here, you're challenging outdated belief systems. You know, that's what that is actually talking about here in your reading. Because there is, I always see it as critical theory, where you challenge industrial principles, ways of life here, things should be this way, all right, and yeah, where it's, and even institutionalized thinking, where everything has to fit into a box, and so it's got to, you tick that box, but sometimes you mold yourself into those boxes, yeah. But this is saying here in your reading, no, I don't fit in a box anymore. That's what I'm getting. I really want to be myself. I be myself. I want to explore here. I would like the freedom, the free will is what it's also talking about, because I choose this. I choose me here. That innovation that's coming in here for you is actually coming in as the High Priestess. And what I get there in your reading here, that you can make certain things happen for yourself, is what it's saying. I want to pull some more cards here, guys. Right, we don't have that. All right, let's go. Okay, so you have the sacral chakra, you have the Eight of Swords. You were coming in with the Three of Pentacles here in your reading. Yeah, of course, I can break this down as both you and your person. All right. This is coming in as for your person, just not connecting yet. Just not connecting the dots, the way in which they feel about you here, or even here in your reading, why they feel a certain way here. See, for your person, when they feel passion and desire here, guys, because it comes in as the Ace of Wands, when they feel passion and desire here, they take the action. They actually take action here, all right? But when they do, and they go towards potential partners here, it doesn't, it's the consequence here, it's the next day here for your person, because they're trying to build something here in your reading. They're trying to figure stuff out about themselves here, and they don't kind of know what's going on, coming in with the Eight of Swords. That's what I'm picking up here in your reading, and it is proving to be an obstacle and a challenge for your person here. Yeah. It's the Eight of Swords here, being trapped in fear here. So hence why when you're coming in with the High Priestess and this transformation card here, that's actually quite pivotal here for you and your person here, because you are coming in with union advice here, union with self and union with your person here in your reading. Now this union with self may I want to say be fine tweaked in a sense here, guys, because that's what needs to change. Now for your person, what it's talking about here in your reading is that they are taking certain action towards people here. This is passionate action here, but it doesn't, in, like I said, the afterthought, the consequence here, because they don't know what's going on within here. That's what it's saying. Because they are building here, guys. They do want to build a relationship here, okay? But there is of course they know here that it's you, but they don't know that it's you here. That's how those cards are coming in here, guys. See, that Three of Pentacles, what it talks about there in your reading, that Three of Pentacles is actually coming in as the transformation card here. It's talking about reprogramming. And once again, when we're talking about reprogramming, it's actually talking about ending out the past program, yeah, and making positive changes to create the new reprogramming here, yeah, to go through reprogramming here, guys. Just because you've ended out a past program doesn't mean you're reprogrammed. You actually have to go through that reprogramming here in your reading. That's how that's coming in for yourself. But for your person, what it talks about here in your reading is that when they build relationships with people, they realize that it's not the relationship that they are wanting. That's what it's also talking about here. So there is confusion here in your reading. Even confusion for yourself, like I spoke about here, coming in with the High Priestess and the transformation card here. But let's see what else and what other messages the cards have for you, Leo. All right, so you are coming in with the Nine of Cups, you are coming in with the Four of Swords, and you are also coming in with the Nine of Swords here. So you're coming in with 1721 here in your reading. And see what it talks about there for both you and your person. You're coming in with heartbreak here, guys, potentially here in your reading. Yeah. And it also comes in as timing each other out in a sense here. It's about, for your person, trying to figure out what's going on in terms of this connection here. And then even for yourself here, coming in with the Nine of Swords here in your reading. You're, of course, this is a wish fulfillment here, potentially here in your reading. That is exactly what you're wanting here, but that wish fulfillment is actually about yourself and your happiness here. You're coming in with the High Priestess. Most people would say that they are happy and that they have made certain changes in their life. All right, guys, but what else makes them happy? What else are you doing that makes you happy here? But it's not just about that. It's, you know, there's a lot that can be said about this transformation and also this reprogramming here. All right, guys? You're, of course, it can come in as doing your hobbies here. All right, guys? But what it can also talk about there in your reading is, well, what I was picking up here, guys, was actually building relationships and building a community, in a sense, is what it's saying. Well, here, to come out of the Nine of Swords here in your reading, because certain things haven't changed. There's a fear factor here for both you and your person. That's what it's talking about. But this fear is actually different for your person and it's different for you here. Yeah. See, it talks about here in your reading, you're actually coming in with, now let me just check that for you here. A cycle here. What you've put your time and attention into here in your reading. And what it can talk about here is that it's not enough here for you to find ultimate abundance, happiness here, coming in with the Nine of Cups. See, this can be changed. It definitely can be changed here, guys. See, it talks about focusing on oneself here. Are you ready? Is your person ready here? Someone needs to take the lead, but this lead needs to be done in terms of building here. It comes in as, like I said, the action. What is the action here? What kind of action are you taking at this time to go towards your person here, so that they become aware of who you are? Because with the High Priestess and the transformation card coming in here, what it talks about there in your reading is a lot of what you're doing, you're keeping under wraps. Here, you're not, you may here need to gain the confidence here to actually be out there. That's what it's also talking about, so that your person sees the true person that you are, that you truly are here. And if that is the case, then book an image reading, tarot reading with me. If you want to know the difference between the two here, okay, just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. Alright, guys, or alternatively, check out the New Earth Community website here. See, what it talks about here in your reading is that you can't control. This is actually coming in as surrender. Surrender the ego, release the control here so that you can ground it. All right, let's see what the advice is for you. Yeah, here. It's a, your person definitely wants to make a choice here. Okay, they definitely want to come back towards you here. But there needs to be, here in your reading, you need to be the difference. Here. Alright. Because your person too needs to end out an outdated belief system here. Okay, when you're coming in with the Eight of Cups, both you and your person at this point in time are going through the Eight of Cups here. And you may be projecting that onto each other here. You may be projecting it onto other people, and so is your person here in your reading. And what it can talk about there is you still have, and so does your person, patterns and habits here. Alright, when you're coming in with the Eight of Cups. And what the Eight of Cups can also talk about here is counselling. Here, guys. But like I said, book and image reading, tarot reading first, and then we can get into the counselling. Alright? Alright, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your reading, Leo, and I will catch you later.